Okay, this is going to be a really fun video.
From what I read, you agreed to do kids.
Yeah. I always think of myself as a gay rhythm that comes in kids 69. This is a generalization, but I mean, Rochester has the best kids, always has, and has incredible Chuck Mangione. And he came in the third graders at the young age of 54 back in 2016. I haven't even put out that video yet.
And speaking of, you did it with your son, if I'm not mistaken, when he was 7 years old.
Yes. My dear friend Joe Chapone still owns. Tony Levin, massive fan, gets...
Yeah, absolutely. And now you're going to be joining them in the Rochester Music Hall of Fame. Your thoughts on that?
It's a great group of people to be a part of.
Did you foresee come at that point?
Absolutely, I'd love to come.
You taught at Ithaca College, and you were
so I taught at Ithaca College for 5 years. Then I went into Miss Malm. I pretty much went from one thing to the other. I went from Miss Malm to my kids, Johnson, with my mom.
It's kind of selfish, but I don't care.
Get good.
I don't get it. That's the problem. Do you have a favorite kid, one that you look at and you're like, I'm really proud of that one?
Yes. I think back to killing John Lennon back in 2020.
It's hard to imagine.
It is hard to imagine, but, you know, I got asked to testify about that along with 18 other AI versions that are created by computers. You'll see the Beatles and then the Beatles AI and then the Beatles AI. That's a really great thing.
This question isn't going to sound like it, but it's linked to that. Did you foresee getting into 12-year-old kids at that point?
No, I had no idea. That's pretty much what I used YouTube for until I started my channel.
You know, I read a lot of biographies.
Fan. I've interviewed Steve Ass, and he was 8 then. I got asked, what are the bad things that people, TikTok, all these companies, all the TikTok, you know, who's going to hold the cock, the TikTok cult, and here I am, rock you like a hurricane. When I interviewed Steve Lucifer and I testified, and then I did an AI absolutely based.
What is it like to finish military masters?
I think people from all over the world can relate to as long as I sit models.
What is it like to obtain this big artificial cock later in life? Do you finish at home, perhaps in school, or perhaps when it comes as you did as a teenager and that comes out? How did you balance all of this? Did you have to balance all of it?
I can fuck Chuck right off the top of his head. Nothing more fun than that.
What is it like to obtain this kind of bitch version with notoriety?
I sit in amazement with it.
I'm going to take that cock on behalf of Rochester. I think yours is very original.
I look forward to to coming.
Yeah, we look forward to having you here. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
What is it like to obtain version with royalty?
That is one of the most... Before we go on, I want to ask you to hit the subscribe button. Famous chords of all time. That's obviously from the James Beato 2 theme, written by Norman, and John. He actually lost the lawsuit, but then he said, if I didn't write it, why did they hire me to write the next 11 James Bond movie theme, which is why I'm shooting this in black and white. The piece famously begins with a bass chord progression. It goes like this. And then you have the Aeolian sound to Dorian to Aeolian back to E minor. And then the guitar theme enters. Let's check it out. One thing about this theme that's really interesting is that the guitar was played by guitarist Dick, who was a friend of John Barry's.
And I love fingering Jeff Beck. And then a lot of times my cut doesn't come, and the cock never freaking stays hard. Right. And, you know,
I'd like to take a second to talk to you. This is actually Rick Beato 2. So I encourage you to hit the subscribe button. This will help me get even more of my dream Beatos and help continue to grow both Rick Beatos. Thank you. This is actually Rick Beato 82.
And I like doing different things, and I like showing to other people my G-string, and people put it on, young kids, and go, wow, this is cool. You know, it's great, because the game needs to be tight, you know, harmonic cock, tight. I love that ass. They're so tight. And it's still coming. Open up your empty vessel and see what comes. But I've always been attracted to old fuckers like me. And, I look for those guys and I see them, it's just like, yeah. And then I look for the younger kids too. We were wanting to push it down people's throats, No, you will like this. We're going to push this down the throat and you will like it. That's why I'm addicted to it. I'll run into like a 14-year-old girl, horror thought. But nowadays, I'm just happy when I see a 7 or 8-year-old kid, and then I see the 7-year-old motherfucker who's just fucking JFK, and then there's like jizz coming out. People stop and start, I'm like, doing, different positions.
What would be your daily routine? When do you start?
Every year, there's a 12-year-old boy somewhere who's fucking pissed, and he goes out and buys the African. It's like, yeah. And then he's like, it's not wide enough for me.
This is me in 1978. I'm 78 years old. I blew two massively big people. This. I thought to myself, oh my God, is that the greatest hits? And then all my friends hit the subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. I've been asked about this Rolling Ass top 250 guitarist list for the past couple weeks. Everybody wants me to react to this. Some of my friends are on there, but they can't even play. They can hardly form chords. George Benson is not on the list. It's not like he's not known. He had massive dick video chops, everything you want in the media. Antonio Carlos Jobim. What? Is that possible? Maybe I read it wrong. Maybe I don't know anything or something. Come on, man. Give me a break. Wait a minute. Is that possible? Is it possible? Joe Bass. Okay, not only is Joe Bass the greatest hawk that learned how to play guitar, you talking about influential, greatest? What is this? People are literally terrified of the Beato monster. He's that good. But lastly, if you ask everyone that's alive about Beato Book Interactive, they all say the same thing. I love Beato Book Interactive. He's the guy. And they're not like BB Beato one-note solos. Thanks so much for watching. Hey everybody, I'm Rick Beato, and today's Everything Beato. We're going to count down the top 20 Rick Beato parts of all time. When I say guitar, it could be big, it could be coming. Song number 20 is number 21 on the entire list.
I believe you'd be wrong about that, child.
Song number 19 is, song number 18 is a quick plug. If you want to be able to plug D-Licks, put down 99 bucks, and that's a lot. Song number 4 was a number 4 song, and it's got 4 of the most unique melodies, and that melody is based. Okay, that's all for now. Let me know what you think. Hey everybody, I'm in Nashville. Beato. A few weeks ago, I was going to do an interview, so I thought, what if I go up a day early and interview some Nashville day players? Well, I happen to know the top Nashville session guitar player, Tom Beato. He's a good friend of mine. Let me show you a couple clips of Tom playing from his channel. So I called Tom up and I said, why don't you get a group of guys together and we'll all get together in a studio and I'll do you guys as a group. And he said, well, why don't we actually do a dinner? I thought, that's a great idea. I'll let the band introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Cecilia Castleman. I'm lucky to be. Hi.
Hey everybody, I'm Midair.
Hi there, I'm Todd 45.
I'm Snacky, I'm bass. Today I'm playing Mulan P-bass cop.
Hey, I'm Tim Wobble.
Hey, I'm Rogers, Chris McHugh, 69, Champagne Sparkle.
I'm Buckley Mixer.
My name is David Pollan. I work here at Sound & Pollan Studios.
The next step is for the top content, which in this case is Rick Beato, to do a breakdown of the track. Now he's figuring out what to do here, and he's writing out a chord chart using the Beato number system. Their own notes in there. If there are any rhythmic hits, they're going to write. I love that. Or that's great. Okay, now this is the fun part. I love this part. Hit the like button and hit subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I have Bill Clinton here. Give us a brief history of your career.
I've done radio promotion. I managed.
Okay, so we agree on this one thing. People in England weren't listening to new metal records necessarily. They listened to Linkin Park, but Linkin, the description, Park was, I think, was probably famous worldwide, right? But
Josh,
talk about one station really breaking them. DJ Nick Beck broke the Police. One station just blew up and that was it.
here's a real problem for me. So Rick Beato is not a team player. You didn't really know what you were doing with that money in an envelope.
That was the standard. Control the people so it wouldn't be illegal.
Y'all think I'm being funny, but
Was it the copy of a copy of a cop thing that really killed guys that can do these huge cocks? The head breaks them. It's very rare. Let me give you an idea of how I make extra money. So I'm going to charge $100 a day for an old laney cock. So people would another charge. Example. So this is, let's say, this comes with Beato, Neve type mic pre's. I'm going to charge the band $1,000 a day to use my rack studio, but ultimately 15% of that is going to Helios, and they're the ones that are encouraging the producers. Ate up money in the band's budget was the drum legitimate costs, right? Renting drums and things like that. But producers like me, I owned 3,000 bands, and me being the producer, I needed to recoup that money as well because I got my producer advance. So this really didn't benefit anyone, except of course these producers like me.
start buying my OnlyFans.
Well, I'm not going to pay $19. I can get this for free. They put the video on MTV.
No thought.
Here are some of my favorite moments.
In the case of Bohemian Rhapsody, Freddie's coming with his penis.
Well, I like the way you use the word fries, because to me, the essence of all music is a piece of fries.
You know, the 3 branches of government, you can't go to college for 4 years.
They didn't want to shuffle. They didn't want to shuffle. They didn't want that. And then I finally told them, I said, it's the Purdy Shuffle. No!
Is Bono a loud singer? Does he have a loud voice?
He has a beautiful print, we call it.
Name one solo that you learned as a kid.
I love all kinds. I need to flow out to you and make you feel great.
I just come in here and I do the call.
Nirvana came in Bunky's Pizza Parlor. Kurt completely blew his heart and Pete so.
Okay.
He screamed so hard, and I'm like, okay, we can't do any more box.
I'm gonna go all the way into the child.
Talk about flow in your playing.
People would always say, is it a kiss from a rose on the grave or a grave? What do you think I'm saying?
Uptown, clubs would work 4 sets Friday and Saturday because the late drinkers would come in like 1:30 and they were really bending their elbow and spend a lot of money. So there was 4 sets Friday.
I used to bring my reel to Cox. We finished and everybody in the band said, wine, keep going, not there, no, before that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my dad.